End of the Line is the largest map in the game, and we'll see lots of vehicle action right to the end. Taking place through isolated fishing communities around a narrow inlet, it culminates in a processing plant and train depot. Base 1. There's a lot of ground for the attackers to cover here, so effective use of air and artillery is vital. Make sure to give the Apache a chance to assist by taking out AA defences first. Arriving in force is key, so try to coordinate tank and infantry movements. Defenders, that artillery can really hurt, so you may want to send a few recon or specialists to take it out. As always, be wary of getting drawn out too far from the base. Try to keep the helo out of action. If the AA goes, 50 cals make good anti-helicopter substitutes. Base 2. For the attackers, this can be a very long route to get there, so make sure that you arrive in force. Don't get too isolated and watch for the defender's helicopter. There is a route across a submerged causeway. Arriving here is often where the defenders least expect an attack. The defenders have a lot more vehicles, but while this base seems quite defensible, be aware that there are many routes in. Watch out for lone attackers sneaking in and stealing your vehicles. Base 3. This base is split into 2 levels and has 2 main approaches which are easy to guard. Avoid arriving alone as it's much easier for defenders to concentrate fire. Sneaking across the bay in a boat sometimes works, especially if the defenders are fighting off a persistent frontal assault. The main attack will usually come along the waterfront, but be aware that the attackers can work around higher as well. Watch out for boats making lightning strikes across the bay. When they hit land and get into buildings, dislodging them can be tricky and time-consuming. Base 4. This base is well set up for defence, with roadblocks and stationary weapons, but the tight house setup can work against them. It's much more effective to get infantry squads in there. Often placing a squad member in a hidden location will let you avoid very long travel times. Defenders, expect a lot of vehicle attacks, but the biggest threat can be infantry. Watch out for the helicopter making attack runs too. In close quarters, make sure to mop up the entire squad. Just having one member left can mean the whole squad respawning again. Base 5. The route through is often well covered, but the attackers will often benefit from trying to avoid a direct frontal assault. Working your way around to the rear in a jeep or tank can really throw the defenders, although it's likely you'll get spotted on the way. Defenders. This base feels quite defensible, but it's very large and there's a lot of opportunity for attackers to work around. It's very easy to bunch up and all go for a crate when a charge gets planted, but be aware that that will leave the other crate undefended. End of the Line is a big map, but despite that scale it's often characterised by daring infantry actions. The map is often decided in the middle bases, and if the defenders hold well on the first base, it makes it difficult for the attackers to keep numbers through to the last.